Agricultural operations, or ag operations, employ the use of airplanes and helicopters in the furtherance of agriculture, horticulture, and forest preservation. Last year, the National Transportation Safety Board initiated a special investigative report on the safety of agricultural aircraft operations to identify safety issues in this unique general aviation sector and suggest actions to address these issues. As part of this investigative report, the NTSB looked at accidents that occurred during the 2013 ag season and collected additional data in the areas of pilot work and sleep schedules, pilot training and experience, aircraft maintenance, and Federal Aviation Administration oversight for accidents that occurred during the peak of agricultural season. The review of NTSB's accident investigation involving ag operations revealed the following safety issues: a lack of ag operation-specific fatigue management guidance, a lack of ag operation-specific risk management guidance, inadequate aircraft maintenance, a lack of guidance for pilot knowledge and skill test. This special investigation report discusses many of the accidents from the 2013 ag season and illustrates the role these safety issues may have played in these accidents. The report also presents 4 new safety recommendations to the Federal Aviation Administration and 4 new safety recommendations to the National Agricultural Aviation Research and Education Foundation, with the goal that these 2 organizations can combine their resources and knowledge to improve safety within the ag community. I am a second-generation ag pilot. My father was an ag pilot for nearly 50 years, and prior to joining the Safety Board as an air safety investigator, I worked as an ag pilot for 20 years. During my time as a crop duster on the west side of the San Joaquin Valley in California, I flew both fixed-wing airplanes and helicopters and performed both day and night ag operations, accumulating 10,000 hours of ag time. The 5 years before I began flying ag operations, I worked as a ground crewman, being a flagger, field finder, and chemical mixer and loader. Crop dusting is a very physically demanding occupation, so much more than what the public is aware of. It is also a business with very little margin for error. When doing this type of unique flying, you're flying hands-on all the time at very low altitudes, about 5 to 10 feet above the crop while spraying, and about 200 to 500 feet above ground level when ferrying to and from the target field. At the same time, you're constantly on the lookout for objects, such as irrigation apparatus, standpipes, telephone and power lines, trees, hedgerows around fields, cross-country transmission towers, cell phone towers, and a myriad of other obstructions. Weather conditions can also provide extreme challenges when performing ag operations. In addition to sun glare, mist, fog, and rain, wind also creates challenges for ag pilots. Also, I have seen repeatedly pilots in the industry who exceed not only the limitations of the airplane, but their own personal limitations, as well as flying when fatigued, pushing it to get the job done, and to put out as many loads as possible. Along with the safety issues identified in the investigative report, obstacle collision accidents remain a top industry concern. The NTSB has also issued a new safety alert, preventing obstacle collision accidents in agricultural aviation. The safety alert highlights investigations by the Safety Board involving ag operations. In Jennings, Louisiana, a pilot was killed after his airplane struck 2 guy wires of a radio tower, although he was aware of the marked radio tower and had worked the field at least 15 times the previous season. The NTSB determined the probable cause of this accident was the pilot's inadequate visual lookout. In Hartford, Kentucky, a helicopter pilot flew through power lines, even though the pilot had circled the target field 3 times looking for obstacles before beginning the spray passes. The NTSB determined the probable cause of this accident was the pilot's failure to avoid a power line that crossed the field, and noted that the company's failure to mention flight hazards during pre-work conference contributed to the accident. The NTSB has identified at least 5 things that pilots and operators can do to avoid being involved in this type of an accident. Number 1, Maintain a quick reference document in paper or electronic form at the operations base that contains field maps, charts, photographs, and details of all known obstacles. Frequently review current aeronautical charts for information about obstacles. Number 2, conduct both regular ground and aerial surveys of the target field to identify obstacles. Some towers can be erected in hours, and obstacles can change since you last worked the field. Number 3, use GPS and other technology to maintain awareness of obstacle locations. Before you take off, spend time to becoming familiar with all available information about the target field and programming navigation equipment. Such pre-flight action can help reduce the potential for confusion or distraction in flight. Number 4, watch for shadows and irregularities in growth patterns to help identify obstacles. And number 5, be aware that task saturation, fatigue, sun glare, and distractions in the cockpit can adversely affect your ability to see, avoid, and remember obstacles. Since I left the industry, there have been significant changes for the better in ag operations. I really do believe that this can be directly attributed to stronger, safer, and overall better designed aircraft, and today's ag pilots take this work much more seriously than those in the past. However, as an air safety investigator, I also see firsthand that even more can be done to improve safety. When implemented, NTSB recommendations issued regarding ag operations will save lives and reduce injuries.